Pretty good back there? Good, gotcha. All right.
Hey, David. How are you guys gonna top that performance the other night? Think you can keep it going or what?
I think we can. I mean, after we met, we talked about some things, and I feel like we can really get the ball rolling back how it was.
How'd you feel about your first start?
I felt pretty good. For me, it meant I just had to be locked in from the jump rather than getting a few minutes to see how the game goes.
How different is that? Because when you sit there on the bench, you can watch how it goes. How different is that for you? I mean, you're used to starting, throughout your high school career, but was it different?
It was a little different. I mean, but once the game started, it was just like me being in the game for the amount of time that I'm usually in there. So I was kind of used to it.
Were you like everybody else, fans, everybody, wondering kind of when you might get the start, or did that enter your mind any, or throughout the season?
I think that was probably the last thing I was worried about
Really?
throughout the entire season. I'm just willing to do whatever the coaches want me to do.
After some turnover issues earlier, you've got 15 assists and none in the last 2 games. What has changed?
My decision making, me being more sure of plays and passes rather than trying to make the home run play every time.
Are you throttling back in that regard, or in terms of the risks you take?
Yes, I feel a lot better about me being in the right position and putting people in the right spots rather than trying to put them in the wrong spots and me taking the turnover for it. So I'm working on being more sure of things.
Is that hard to do? I mean, difficult to kind of pull back a little bit, or?
I mean, yeah, when you see things happen before they actually happen, but some people don't see what you see, and then you still want to take that risk. I mean, you kind of got to bite your tongue sometimes and wave the white flag.
David, at some point tomorrow, you're probably going to be guarding Cole Anthony. What have you seen from him, and what makes him such a difficult guy to match up with?
I know that he's a really good scorer. He's very aggressive, and he's going to have the ball in his hands a lot. So us being a team and knowing that he's going to try to make a play every time he has the ball, we have to be really locked in and our gaps ready on defense.
Is there anybody in particular who's kind of helped you take steps forward this year and get ready to be the starter?
Not necessarily. I mean, the coaching staff has helped me work on my decisions and become a better player, obviously. But other than that, it's just been the constant everything that we do every day, and me learning from some of the older guys in practice too.
Carolina recruit you at all, or hear from them? Or?
No, I did not.
But have you followed them through the seasons with college basketball and so forth?
I watch them sometimes when they're on, but I don't really pay attention to it that much. I mean, I've watched some film on them. I mean, just because the game's coming up, but other than that, I haven't really went out of my way for it.
Coach Mack brought up the other night that you were supposed to go to a Xavier Villanova game when he was recruiting you, and you skipped out and went to Louisville UNC. Do you remember that night?
Yes, I do.
At what time did you tell him that you weren't going to the Xavier game?
I think I told him a couple hours before. I think I told him I was going to like a different event or a family event or something. I felt kind of bad.
Did he bring that up to you at all?
He hasn't, but I saw it on Twitter.
How that develop? How did it come about that you were supposed to go there and then you waited 2 hours before?
The Nova game was really anticipated, like it was a really huge matchup, and then I wanted to, I've never actually seen North Carolina play at the time, and I knew that they were really good that year, so I wanted to go check that game out and made the decision not to go up there.
What game was it? North Carolina?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Dave, is there a moment this year in the last few weeks that you remember that you kind of felt like, okay, I've taken that next step from being a freshman, and as Coach was describing a couple weeks ago, making mistakes, to kind of learning that I got to slow down a little bit, and I can now feel what I'm doing right and what I'm doing wrong?
I feel like I can't remember exactly, but I know I think there was a game where one of the older guys got on me, because usually I get the explanation of, oh, he's a freshman, he's gonna learn and do that, and I don't like to think about it that way, and one of the older guys got on me. He's like, you got to do this, and like it really clicked to me like I'm one of them. So I have to do the right things all the time, and not just I can't afford one mistake here and there.
Is that tough being a freshman and being inexperienced and also having the ball in your hands so much, being such a critical piece of the team?
It's tough sometimes, but I mean, you have to be different than everyone else, and you have to take that leadership and buy into it and see what you can do.
Do you want to identify who got in your ear?
I want to say it was Malik. Could be. Yeah, I feel like it was Malik. That was for sure.
Is he kind of we've kind of heard he is kind of the vocal guy to get in everybody's ear, is he not?
Yeah, I would say Malik's the alpha. Yeah.
What gives you confidence, and all of you, confidence that you can go on now, put those 2 bad games behind you and keep playing like you did the other night?
I think we give each other confidence in practice, during the shoot-arounds, off the court when we're hanging out. And I feel like all of us are really boosting each other's confidence, whether that's telling each other good shot or telling each other what we need to work on or what we need to do better.
You guys had grasp of the first place in the ACC and then lost it. You've gained it back. What did you learn through that experience?
That as long as we continue to work, good things will happen to us. So we just got to stay locked in for the rest of the season.
Other than the turnovers, you seem pretty comfortable right off the bat offensively in the way you see the court and the feel for the game and all, but at the defensive end, was it a little bit tougher adjustment for you, as it seems to be for most freshmen?
Yeah, the schemes were kind of similar coming into the program because I kind of played like that in high school a little bit, but just the terminology that the coaches use now, it's kind of new to me, and I'm starting to pick up on a little bit more in the way that they guard things, so I feel like it's starting to get easier for me.
One of Coach Mack's recurring themes was that he believed in you when a lot of people didn't. As your recruiting went closer to a decision, did you find more people jumping on the bandwagon, more high-profile schools maybe looking at you?
Yeah, some people jumped on like later, but he was always one of those people that was like, he was my first scholarship offer, and he stuck with it throughout my entire recruiting process.
When did he offer you? Was that pretty early in the process, I guess?
I think it was my sophomore year going into my junior year, that summer.
Did you meet him your sophomore year, or was it earlier than that? Or?
Oh, yeah, I met him. I think I met him when I got the offer.
Did you ever visit Xavier?
Yes.
Did you feel like you were slept on at all as a recruit? Did you feel like you should have been higher in the rankings or anything like that? Do you think about that?
I feel like I was undervalued, but I feel like the things that I do are the things that you don't really see like on the stat sheet. So that's why I feel like I wasn't really highly recruited as everyone else.
Things like what?
Like making the extra pass, like that doesn't count as an assist, but you making that pass to someone that gets the assist is what matters.
Last week or two, your name has kind of come up as a possible NBA prospect. Is there any chance you would leave after this year?
I want to finish my freshman season out. I haven't really looked into things like that, and I'm focused on winning out the rest of the season.
You referenced that belief from Coach Mack. Is there any time during the season this year where maybe you were going through something and you kind of harkened back to that belief to say, hey, this guy saw this in me there, and I need to get back to that this year?
Once I started playing and I wasn't really comfortable yet, there were some times where I was like, I don't really know if I can really get back to how I was, but I kind of, he stuck with it, and he was like talking to me, and a lot of my teammates were talking to me, and I was like wondering, like, I'm here for a reason, so I started getting back into a groove.
Back to the high school question a minute. One reason you weren't more highly recruited might be because you didn't score a lot. Could you have scored a lot more had you really set your mind to it?
I believe so, I could have.
But you seem to kind of like getting other guys involved. Is that true?
Yeah, that's all who I am.
You don't have a scoring mentality now at all, or no?
I just like making the right play. I don't really necessarily have a pass first or score first. It's just the right play.
Why do you think that the passing was so on point the other night against Syracuse? It seemed like every possession, 5-6 passes, at least 4 of the guys on the floor would touch the ball.
We put in our offense was to try to get the ball to the middle, and once you get to the middle, you can do anything with it. So they believed, my teammates believed that once we got the ball to the middle, whether it was me, Jordan, Sam or Dwayne in the middle. Once we got it there, that we could make any play happen from there. So as the game went on, we kind of stuck to that, and it helped us out.
Did you like being that guy who was in the middle of the zone, or do you prefer to operate kind of out in the
I felt pretty comfortable in the middle of the zone.
Even though it's been kind of a down year for North Carolina, it's still kind of a special game when you look at tradition and get a chance to play here. It's been a big deal for you guys.
Oh yeah, they're still North Carolina at the end of the day. I mean, they were preseason ranked, 2 or 3 or whatever, but I mean, we still see them as North Carolina, and we know that they're really good. No, regardless of what the record is.
Anything else for David?
Thank you.
Thanks, David.
Appreciate it.